Presidency speaks on signing lesbianism gay marriage pact, that is the LGBTQ pact with the European Union. Okay, so what are they saying? I remember that the Europeans, the EU, called Tinubu into the meeting to sign or to align with the agreement, and Nigerians have been lambasting and shouting at him never to try it because Nigeria is not a gay country. Okay, so let's see Tinubu's response to that call. The presidency had confirmed its absence at the signing of the Samoa Agreement, a partnership between the member countries of the Organization of uh, African, Caribbean, and Pacific States and the European Union, and made a public outcry from civil society groups in Nigeria. So Nigeria News reports that the Samoa Agreement is intended to serve as an overarching legal framework for the relationship between members of Africa, the Caribbean, and the Pacific states for the next 20 years and was slated to be signed on November 15th. So the agreement covers sustainable development and growth, human rights, peace, and security. However, the civil society organization in Nigeria condemned the agreement and said it is pro-LGBTQ, and that is correct. So according to the CSOs, if the government succumb to the European Union's intimidation and sign the lesbianism, gay marriage, bisexual, transgender, and bisexual LGBTQ, that's agreement, it would spell doom for the nation, arguing that the pact was primarily aimed at the homosexualization and LGBTization of the countries. LGBTization. Not be small thing. Reacting, the presidency, in a statement via its official X account on Thursday, denied signing the document. The presidency said that Nigeria was not represented at the signing ceremony, which took place in the Samoa on Wednesday, November 15, 2023, and hence has not signed the agreement. That's good for you. That is really good for you. You don't have to succumb into all the Western tricks. The statement added that relevant Nigerian stakeholders are studying the instrument to ensure its provisions do not contravene Nigeria's domestic legislation. The post on X reads, important update. Nigeria has not signed the Samoa Agreement. Relevant Nigerian stakeholders are studying the instrument to ensure that its provisions do not contravene Nigeria's domestic legislation. That is very, very good for doing that. The reason is because we know that we have a law in Nigeria that is criminalizing same-sex marriage, the homosexualism, bisexual, transgender, and lesbianism in Nigeria. Our culture prohibits it, and we do not need to bring in the white man's culture into this at all. Okay, our culture prohibits it. So the real thing here is that Nigeria, shouldn't be part of it. And that is why when the EU brought out the Samoa Agreement and they didn't actually unveil the entire content, but people have studied and looked at it and say it's pro-LGBTQ, which is not what we want. Okay. And now that they have signed that agreement on the 15th of November 2023, which is about 2 days ago, okay, Nigeria had tactically, kept away from it, meaning that they did not sign. But again, this Tinubu's government or APC government is, the more you look, the less you see. I just hope that what they're telling Nigeria is true. Okay, but from what the president is saying, that they were not present, they tactically decided to be absent, so they did not sign it. So they are not part of it. Better for Nigeria. I'm sure the West have been looking for a way to drag Nigeria into these Western cultures that are anti-nature, and anti-God. But, Nigerians have been... I love Nigeria because when all these kind of things that affect the common front of Nigeria in the international frontal space, they come together. It's just like when this issue came up during Goodluck Jonathan, they rejected it until the legislators promulgated the law criminalizing that activity. So if you are doing and hiding, go and do it where you want to do it. But the fact remains that our law does not support it, and if you are caught, even if they don't even put law first, if you are caught, they will even jungle justice will be for the person. That is I trust Nigeria for that one. They will roll out jungle justice for the person. You come and say you are homo in the public, they will finish you, or you are lesbian in the public, they will finish you. You don't even need law. The individuals that you are talking to that will hear it around you will start beating you immediately. So you know that it's not our culture. If that was what your parents did, would you have been given birth to? So that after giving birth to you, you don't want to give birth to other people. Better go and sit down. So that is anti-nature and anti-culture, and it's actually sexual perversion. So it's not allowed. So good enough that Nigerian government had tactically kept away from that meeting. So that's a good one. So people are already reacting to what the presidency has said here. Let's go through a few of the comments. Somebody says, sign up, make blood flow for Nigeria. I trust my northern brothers. They will defend their territory at all costs. Eh? That was Martinez. The foolish wives told us polygamous is unlawful, but they want to bring gay and lesbianism. Is this a normal thinking? It's not. Some of your northern brothers are gays, so if you doubt, go to Kano State. They don't tell them. I never doubt that there are gays, okay, don't reply again, or lesbian everywhere, but making it legal is in a country of different interests, beliefs, and diversity is what I'm saying, and that makes sense. Okay, it is part of Tinubu's agreement to the U.S. and Western world for him to remain in power. But he had tactically dodged it now, so he's not going to agree to those things because Nigerians will not let him agree to that. The same way he wanted to go to war in both France and U.S. were pushing him to go to war in Niger Republic. But again, Nigerians, especially legislators, said no, we are not going to war. Those people are our brothers, we're not going there. And it ended. Actually, that is how it's supposed to be if legislators can continue to sustain things like this on a positive note. But when it comes to sharing money, they will scatter. They will become on their own. Someone say, where were you there, okay, when the agreement was made? Which agreement is that? If after reading the above write-up, you still make this comment, then you are a big fool and Abby, not be small thing. It's of course somebody said that it was part of his agreement. He didn't enter. Well, he's trying to say he didn't enter any agreement. So let's leave it at that. Let's not generate dust out of that. Okay, they should not even try it. This one not be election rigging. Did you read to understand at all? Wallahi, if they try it, that is the end of Nigeria. They're not going to try them. I tell you, they will not try it. They will not try it. Each time I hear about this nonsense, it sounds disgusting. I don't want to hear less, not to talk of lesbianism. Less, not to talk of bianism. And that is what, federal government should agree with them and put them into test by putting two men in somewhere and another two women in somewhere too, and give them date like 9 or 10 months. If they produce like having a child, fine federal government, go ahead and sign. But if they failed, they should be killed from there. Federal government should start killing them because they are worthless. This is one recommendation. So, and so another person is already saying, I concur with you if they are savage Nigerian or not. If they no say put two women in one room and put another two men in one room and leave them for 9 months, if they produce Pekin, go and sign the agreement. If they not produce Pekin, don't sign the agreement and kill those people because they will be a menace to Nigeria. that one a lethal agreement, not be small one. Someone said the government never signed it, so why the test? They're not going to sign, and I just hope they will not go back and sign it behind. So thank you for listening. The government has clarified the air that they have not signed and they are still studying it. And that, of course, that is a diplomatic statement to make. They cannot come out categorically to say they will not sign, but they will use diplomacy to manage it. And I think that is the path they have chosen, which is okay. to be able to maintain international relationships. So thank you for listening, and let's have a comment.